Good morning. It is July 19th, 2013, just shortly after 7 o'clock a.m., to be more precise, 7:14 a.m. says here, July 19th. And I just thought I'd do a video of myself doing a talking head of this is Ed when he rolls out of bed type of thing. Pardon me, I have a bad bronchial condition, and probably not at my best for a live video viewing, but at least it's candid and natural and not necessarily vain. The wife is in bed, the children are in bed, and so this is an opportunity for me to make a video without interruption. I make a number of videos, and I like to post my videos online. Pardon me for a moment here. I need to open a window to get some air. I'll be right back. Yeah, I would put it on pause, but then that would mean I would have to put my videos together again to make another video, and I don't really feel like doing that. What's happening? I've had 6 medical biopsies done here recently in a gastroscopy, because my regular physician was concerned about my condition and offered me the opportunity to have this looked at. And I took it because, well, it's an opportunity to prove to myself and to others precisely what my medical condition problem is. And I was convinced that I did not have cancer. Well, guess what, people? Turns out I do not have cancer. Anyway, at least I put a lot of concerns of others to rest. I have some other sorts of issues that need tending to, medical issues, and less serious, and I'm good to go. And yeah, as a result of this gastroscopy, I developed some kind of bronchitis, and it's a bad one. It started shortly after my gastroscopy, July 27, or June 27, near the end there. So around June 29 or so. And it was a sort of a cutting tightness feeling in my chest. I didn't realize that they were going to do that much like sample taking. And when they did a biopsy, I thought it was just like a scrape or something. I didn't really look into that sort of procedure. But it was sort of a cutting feeling in my esophagus, a tight cutting feeling of real discomfort, actually, that persisted and did not go away. and seemed to be getting progressively worse. But of course, I didn't want to panic, and we had company in from out of country, and so I went with it. I just ignored it, and fortunately, I had some good legal narcotic painkiller, and I would take that to deal with my internal pain, in addition to the pain that I also receive from getting teeth pulled and sutures in my mouth, and my arthritis, because my doctor told me I could not take any anti-inflammatory drugs, and unfortunately I do get arthritis, and it's no fun at all, especially if you're a writer, and it's hard on the fingers, and the joints for that matter. And so, all these things add up, and so I would very carefully gauge myself with that legal narcotic, and that's about it. I just went with it, telling myself it would get better, I would heal. Well, it got to the point where, I was getting so much salt water buildup in my lungs that I was alarmed. But I had to wait for about 20 days for my test results of my gastroscopy. And so I thought, okay, well, I'll just time it so everything comes together, and I'll go see the doctor and cover all these things at once. That's how I like to do things. But lately, the way it's been going, I may as well just standardize my appointment making and make an appointment once a week to see my physician, because this is just crazy. There's always something. May as well just write me up once a week. May as well go see a doctor once a week, the way things are going. Now, I like to think that I'm not really that unhealthy. All right. There are parts of me that work really, really good, as my wife will attest to. If that makes me a dirty old man, so be it. You know what? I don't care. I am not going to apologize for actually having proper natural biological functions, and probably working better than most men my age. So there. Okay? I was designed to be a dad, and I was designed to be a husband, and I was made for love making, baby, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not going to apologize for this. I'm not, there are people who are trying to categorize me and slam me into some kind of a stereotypical pervert mode, and that's not me. I'm not a pervert. Okay, and I'm really getting tired of it. And just because I think it's cool for a guy to have more than one wife does not make me a pervert. All right, it does not. And I guess I'm just digressing here because I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the oppression that I've received, and I'm tired of the oppression that I've received right here in my own town, and at the hands of women, especially women, who treat me and look at me like I'm a piece of crap just because I think it's okay for a man to have more than one wife. And I'm tired of being discriminated against just because I think it's okay for me to have more than one wife. And it bothers me that I got pushed out of my own home because some misandrist on some board with a bunch of self-right fat cats thought it was not cool for me to have more than one wife, so I get forced out of my own home. Okay? And I know that's what this is really all about. All right, but hey, fine, power to you. Go ahead, pick on somebody, weaker than you. Go ahead, oppress me. I got news for you. I'm coming out swinging. You better be ready. I'm not stupid. All right, and I'm tired of your oppression. You thought you could push me out of my town, and you didn't. I'm still here. All right? I know your game, and I know what you're up to. I also know you watch my videos. I've been in this town since 1994, but I walked the shores of these lakes, Iosigan, Smoke Lake, since 1965. All right? And I don't care. I don't give a rat's that my family doesn't stand with me, or that my family is embarrassed by me just because I say it's okay for a man to have more than one wife. It could be a lot worse. At least I honor my wife. At least, I take care of my children. I give them one-on-one time, and such as I have, I commit to my own flesh and blood and my family. I don't, we all have challenges in our life, and we are expected to make the best of our challenges and our situations. Frankly, I'm really ashamed of some of the people here in my town and how they let things get operated. I made a good effort, and I'll tell you, there's a lot of people in my town. They just don't know me. They haven't really sat down and had a good talk with me. They haven't really taken the time to really understand where I'm coming from or what I'm about. Oh no, all they do is they just listen to the rumors and they hear stories about me, and eventually, these things get back to me. It's crazy. Some of the things I hear are just downright crazy. I won't even dignify them because they're crazy. I The reason I came off like this is because I've been here a long time. Maybe I should be given a little respect. So, because, of some of the things that have been said about me, I just like to take this opportunity to set a few things right. I moved here in 1994, but I've lived here a lot earlier than that. Many of my good summer days were spent in this little town. And I worked good, hard, honest work, shoveling gravel for Otto Ritter in K-Bob Trailer Court when I was a young lad of maybe 13, 14 years of age. From the center of this town here, the culvert right on the highway where, what we used to call the Winks, the Husky, I guess it is now. I worked on that culvert and every culvert from here clear to Little Smoky. That's a lot of culverts, by the way, people, on the highways. But I guess, I'm just a grunt, right? Because, I help put culverts together on the highway. I worked on the bridge construction at Little Smoky. I also did security work there. Now, the reason I'm telling you about all this different work that I did on the bridges and on the culverts, the construction work that I did, okay, on those places. And some of you remember me from working back there, okay, is because, there's some crazy talk going around that, I don't even know if I should be dignified. It's just insane. Yes, I am on medical, and yes, I am not going to apologize for that. Okay, I worked hard for it, and I signed a contract with my quote-unquote government, and they're expected to honor their end of the contract just as they expect me to honor mine. And now people want to make me ashamed because I'm on quote unquote welfare. What kind of nonsense is that? I paid into this. You know, I've been working since I was 14 years of age. And my relatives, my goodness, I can't believe their attitudes about me. They hardly know me. I could list job after job after job after job after job after job that I've done in this town since I came up here in 1994, and there is yet some stupid kind of rumor going around about me that I never worked a day in my life. Where is this coming from? Who is spreading these rumors about me? I worked don't get me started, man. I worked jobs back to back, full-time jobs. Maybe that's why I'm in this medical condition now. Y'all don't know me. You think you know me, but y'all don't know me. I cannot believe it. So finally something happens. And I'm out of work. I'm out of commission for a few years. All right? And then that leads to other medical problems, right? And I'm trying to get help for this. Where was my support system, and where were my friends, and where was my family all the while this happened? Out putting me down like a bunch of backstabbing vultures. That's where they were. Who stood with me? I'll tell you, there was only a couple of people who stood with me. One was a town drunk, so I'm not going to name him, right? Okay, because I don't want to draw any more focus and attention to him. But at least he stood with me. You know why? Because he knew what it was like to be an underdog. All right? At least he stood with me. He's got more decency than most of y'all out there. And someone else, who I'm not going to name. And thank God, bless his heart, that I actually had a brother in arms who knew my story and knew me well, and knew that I was a hard-working, diligent, honest, forthright man. And it's a shame that I have to speak of myself this way, because y'all don't know me, and no one else will bear witness of me, because you don't know me. You're all too darn busy accusing me and criticizing me when you don't even know me. I got a pretty good dossier, actually, if you really want to know, of my activities here in this town. You'd be amazed what sort of things I was active in the community and supportive. I'll tell you right now, it's a damned shame that there are people in this town putting me down and oppressing me and despising me for marital choices that I've made, adult choices based on moral and ethical decisions. Just because I'm twice as old as my wife doesn't make me a pervert. I'm sorry that some of you have problems dealing with that. And a contract is a contract, people. A deal is a deal. And I'm sorry you don't like the fact that I don't have to pay medical. I paid into it when I was a young man working. And yes, I paid my fair share of taxes. And yes, I know what it means to pay property tax. And yes, I found a hole in the system that legally allowed me to take advantage of some benefits, just as many of you do. But I'll tell you something, all you people who criticize me and diss me, I want you to listen up real carefully. If any one of you ever went bankrupt in your lifetime, you're a bunch of no good, dirty old bums. And I don't care if you have jobs, you're still a bunch of no good, dirty old welfare bums, because you went and turned to welfare when you went bankrupt. I've never claimed bankruptcy in my life. I've never cost my government half the money you cost the government. Shame on ya. And you're putting me down because I'm on medical? Shame on you, you bunch of hypocrites. I worked hard for my medical assistance. I deserve my medical assistance. And I'll tell you what, when I get all these operations done and everything, I'm going to come back swinging, because I'm a fighter. And you don't know me. None of you know me. especially my relatives. Shame on you. You never took the time to get to know me. You know what? Of all my relatives, the one that actually took the time to really get to know me in this town since I've lived here in 1994 is a young lad named Dustin West. God bless his soul. At least he took the time to get to know me. Shame on you. I'm serious. I can't believe it. I moved up here in this town in 1994 and nobody even so much as knocked on my door or offered me a piece of pie. And I helped put this town on the map. Shame on you. You guys don't know Ed King. It's a crying shame. Now I gotta admit, I've got siblings, and they weren't exactly the best behaved. But you got nothing on me. Okay? Seriously, you don't. And I know that my siblings lived here, and I know they weren't exactly saints. I have no control over their actions or their choices or what they did. But I really did try to be an honest, conscientious, community-minded, contributing, tax-paying citizen of Fox Creek. And I am not going to repeat what I've heard recently. And I got a good idea what some of these people, who they are. And I don't have the time to dignify what I heard about me. But that person spreading these rumors about me, they don't even know me. In fact, that person spreading those rumors about me isn't even a hardcore resident of this town. That person came here not that long ago. And that person has a record of wrecking marriages, busting up families, taking women who are suffering in marital situations aside and befriending them, winning their confidence, and then step by step dismantling their marriages. That person really enjoys helping women out of their marriages because she really thinks that, I indicated her gender, that's right, that she's helping them. But in the grand scheme of things, what goes around comes around. And in the grand scheme of things, sometimes you're best not getting messed up in other people's business and letting people learn their own lessons for themselves. But these outrageous rumors that have finally made their way back to me, I'm serious, I'm not going to dignify them. I can get into some pretty good debates with people who want to come and talk to me. And they want to look me in the eye. And I know they won't because they're a bunch of cowards. I've earned every penny of my medical assistance and then some. Every penny. In fact, my government owes me a whole lot more. I'm not going to go into the details. My government owes me millions of dollars right now, and they're never going to pay it. And that's okay, because they're really not my official government. I've already decided who my official government is, and if that makes me sound like I'm out of my mind, well, that's fine. Let it make me look like I'm out of my mind. But I believe that my official government is a whole lot more forthright than the government that is calling themselves so-called government here in Canada right now. I think they're a piss poor excuse for government right now. No, you all don't know me in this town, okay? You know what? The taxi driver in this town knows me better than my relatives do. Isn't that sad? I'm serious. I won't mention his name, but I'm telling you, the taxi driver in this town knows me probably better than most of my relatives. And he's a good man, you know. He's one of the pioneers, you know, an enterprise man, you know. And I gotta admit, you know, I'm a little choked. I'm a little choked by what I heard. I'm a little choked. That's fine, you know. I just turned, well, I'm just going to say my mid-50s for security reasons on my computer, okay? I'm not quite, I'm not 55 yet. I'll just say that, okay? I'm not 55 yet. But, yeah, I'm a little choked. But I can tell you, you know, I've earned every penny of my medical and then some, and the government owes me a lot more. But, you know, that's the name of the game. Get the lawyer and prove it, right? I got screwed over real bad. My son doesn't even know half the story. He thinks that I'm my own son believes this town's lies about me. What a shame. I lost my son, you know that? Yeah, karma is an amazing thing sometimes. I'm sorry I give people the wrong impression about me. I am a character. I admit that. I am a character and I'm a thinker, but I believe in freedom. I believe in liberty. Okay? I believe in justice. And of course, you know, everybody wants to see justice done, right? To somebody else. But I got the raw end of a deal. Really, really raw end of a bad deal. But I'm not finished yet. Okay? And when it comes right down to it, my support, my backup is a whole lot bigger than anything you guys can imagine. And I'm plugging into something really big here. It's not over. All right? You failed. All of you who tried to run me out of this town failed because I'm still here. And I want to remind you of your failure. I want to really remind you. I want to get in your face and I want to remind you of how badly you failed. You may have pushed me into some little apartment building in a corner here on the edge of town, but I'm still here. And I've been here for a long time. All right? And even if I leave here temporarily, I'll be back. But if I do have to leave here temporarily, when I come back, it's not going to be pretty. You can only push a man so far, okay? So yeah, you better watch me. Keep your eyes on me, because I'm not done. I'm not done, not by any stretch of the imagination. Hey, you in there, or you out there. I'm not done yet. I know who you are, and I know where you live. And yeah, you have every reason to be afraid. Be very afraid. Because I carry a very, very, very big stick. Rarely do I ever use it. But those who are on the receiving end of it, they rue the day. They really do. You know who you are. And if you come to my door and apologize to me and make remedy for what you done to me, we can talk. I am a reasonable man. I'm even known to forgive my enemies. But because you haven't, shame on you. Shame on you. And you know who you are. Anyway, it's July 19, 2013. My name is Edward King. I've earned every penny I ever made in my life and every penny I received. God bless you. God bless you. I hope you get something from watching this video. peace to you and to your house. God bless you.